So you see the title. If you're stuck on ideas for melodies or beats, I really hope this helps. And if you're following along in Fruity Loops while we run through this simple formula to get your creative juices going, and you hear something you like, just run with it. You know, like, as much as I want you to watch the whole video, I think as soon as you hear that something cool and the inspiration strikes, just run with it. We're not going to have a fully finished track in 5 minutes, but I think it should be enough to follow this formula to get some of you creating, you know, especially if you're new. So let's get to it. First thing you want to do is give yourself lots of room. We're going to bring this all the way up to 64 beats, and we're going to get a nice strong downbeat 4/4 kick, and then the snare is going to make it more interesting. So we're going to go to Tools and the Randomise here. So what we want to do is play with this population and just listen for any like interesting rhythms that will go over that 4/4 kick, and then we're going to isolate them. So let's see what this does. So I kind of played with the stack there just to give it a bit more variability. But I think I hear something here. So I tell you what, let's start with this too, and we're just going to bring them all down to C5. Everything down to C5. Let's get rid of this. I've got 2 bars here. Okay, so there's something there, right? You know, we'll bring that over here, and now that matches up with the 64 beats. And now you got a kick and snare. You can kind of spend some time finding the sound that you want for the kick and for the snare. And I've kind of noticed if you start with the drums, you're going to get more of a rhythm bass sound. So maybe drum and bass or something like that. And if you start with the melody, you'll get a more melodic sound. Now we're going to work on the melody. And we're just going to bring up something from Flex, like a piano sound. Look, that'll do for now. And so once you find a piano that you like, you go into the piano roll again, you go down to Tools. This time we're going to generate a chord progression. Again, you'll see these Roman numerals here, and they do really give you a sense of the tone that you want. So this top one here is another name for it. It's called the axis of awesome, because it's been part of hundreds and hundreds of really popular pop songs throughout the year. So to give you a sound of it, that's it. And you know, when you kind of research Roman numeral sequences, you can actually even just type them in here, and you know, there's certain kind of combinations that you can do that'll help you with chord changes and all kinds of really cool stuff. So now we've got that, we're going to accept. The next one we're going to do is a synth. So just for this demonstration, we're going to choose a mini synth. And make sure your melody is on a different pattern. So you can just copy and paste that into here. And you want to copy and paste the same chords in the mini synth. But what we're going to do that's different is click on this spanner icon, the gear icon, and then the spanner icon. You bring this polyphony down to the dots and choose these mono, porter, full porter options. And this arpeggiator is what's going to change the game. So just for now, we're going to click the question mark, which means it's kind of random notes of what you've chosen here. And if we give it a test, you can see that's kind of a good feel, right? It's a nice feel, has some feels. So to make it your own, we can mess with this timing. Speeds it up, slows it down. Now this is really cool, the slide. This one goes just down. It sounds pretty nice. We can bring the range up. Right, and other things you can do to change the sound, just definitely have a play around with the slide, the timing, and these different options for the arpeggiator here. And if you keep it on auto, it'll play the chords that you put in the piano roll. Otherwise, there's a whole bunch of other chords you can play with as well. And you can also click back out of the gear icon, and there's a bunch of things you can play with in the synth itself. So yeah, look, hopefully that is kind of the building blocks of a new idea for you. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm gonna put after this a little sample of a track that I made. I got to maybe around step 6 or 7 when we were doing the rhythm part for the snare. And then I realized, we can make that snare a bit more melodic with a marimba, add some delay on it, and this is how it turned out.